Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
How are you
Good
this
evening,
evening?
sir.
So this evening we are going to talk about the decision making and the perception, perception that will be presented by who? By whom?
7, sir.
Asa, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who are the members in your group?
REVILIA and PUTRI.
And Putri, yeah. Okay, so there are 3 people, in your group, So you are going to talk about perception, Okay, so before we start our lecture, so every student must give the opening comment. So as well, you must say your greeting, names, and the purpose of your coming into the Zoom meeting, and then what do you know about perception and how important is perception at workplace? Okay, please from Desi Eka Sanjaya.
Okay, hello everyone. Hello, sir. Good evening. First of all, I'd like to say sorry if later I am lagging because in the home is a very bad. All right.
Connection. There's something wrong with it.
Yeah. So today I'm going to enter the organizational behavior class because I want to hear the presentations given by my friends about the perception and individual decision making. Hopefully, after joining the class, I could know how to make a very good individual decision making. Thank you.
Okay. Irfani, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So today I attended class because I want to know about the perception and also decision making, and I hope in the next time I will get new knowledge about the perception and also decision making. Thank you.
Okay, please, Yuni Penawati.
Okay, good evening all. Good evening, sir. So today I'm joining this class because I want to see my friend presentation. I hope you guys good luck, guys. And what I know about a perception is the sensory experience of the world. And I hope after I'm joining this Zoom meeting, I can make a good decision making. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, good. Vanessa Yen.
Okay,
Vanessa
good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I joined this lecture today because I want to hear my friend's presentation. It is about perception and decision making, individual decision making. I think perception is very important in understanding human behavior because every people have different perception.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. WAHYUNI.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, Saradi and all of my friends. My name is WAHYUNI, and the reason I'm joining to this class because I will present about chapter 6 today about perception and individual decision making. And what I know about perception is this refers to the way sensory information is organized, interpreted, and consciously experienced. Thank you.
Okay, Cristobal.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I come here for learn about perception and individual decision making. Decision making I think, is about how people make a decision. So maybe it's from this lecture I can learn more. So thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Willa Garcia.
So hi everyone, my name is Willa. Nice to meet you all again. Today we will discuss about perception and individual decision making. So perception is a necessary part of the decision process of an individual interpreting something that we see or we hear and use that information to analyze and give decision on person, group, and situation. Thank you.
Okay, REVILIA TERESA.
Hello, good evening, sir and everyone.
Good
The
evening.
reason why I joined today's Zoom meeting is because my group are going to present about chapter 6, which is perception and individual decision making. And what is perception? Based on my knowledge, perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impression in order to give meaning to their environment. Perception often results in learning information that is directly relevant to the goals at hand, but sometimes it results in learning that is incidental to one's immediate goals. Thank you.
Okay, good evening.
Okay, good evening, sir and everyone. As per usual, we are going to have presentation for today's class, and today's topic is perception and individual decision making. And perception is very important in the study of the OB simply because people's behavior is based on their perception of what reality is, not on the reality itself. So, yeah, thank you.
Okay, Putri Hermania.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good
Waalaikumsalam
evening, sir and
warahmatullahi
everyone. So today I joined into the class because our group will be presentation today, chapter 6 about perception and individual decision making. So what I know about perception. Perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impression in order to give meaning to their environment. Thank you.
Okay, good. Delviana Sukma.
Okay, good evening, sir and friends. So today I
Yeah.
joined class because I want to learn more about the topic. And in my opinion, perception is an individual view of the experience of an object and or how to see and assess something obtained based on the information. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Andrian Yuando. Andrian Yuando.
Yes,
Andrian.
sir. Okay, good morning, good evening, sir, and
Good
everyone.
evening.
The reason today I joined the class is because I want to see my friend presentation and want to learn more about perception and decision making. In my opinion, perception is interpret sensory information to provide an overview and understanding of an environment. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Wahyu Andika.
Okay, good morning, sir and everyone. As usual,
Okay.
I joined this class to learn about organizational behavior, this time about perception and individual decision. What I know about perception is how we interpret our sensory impression to give meaning to our world or environment. So what is important is to give a meaning to our decision later, maybe in business. Thank you.
Okay, good. Sabrina Felia. Sabrina Felia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And the reason why I joined this class today because we will learn about chapter 6 about perception and individual decision making from group 7, and I hope the presentation will go well. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Kevin Nathanael.
Okay, good evening, Saradi, and good evening, everyone. In this occasion, my friend from Group 7 will present the chapter 6 that discuss about perception and individual decision making. I think it's very important because when someone make decision making or someone manage their perceptions, it's very effect on the organizational process. So I think it's very important. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Octavia.
Good morning and good evening, sir, and good evening, everyone. So sorry, I cannot open my camera because my handphone is so lagging right now.
Okay.
So the reason why I attend today class because I want to learn more about the presentation that will be presented by my friend. So I want to say good luck for my friend who will present today. Thank you.
Okay, Tasha. Rabiatul Alfia.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir, and all of my friends. So the reason why I'm joining the Zoom because I want to see my friend presentation about perception and individual decision making. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Salsabila Deva.
Hello, good evening, sir, and also all of my friends. My name is Salsabila Deva. The reason I joined this class today because I want to listen and learn more about the organizational behavior materi presentation from my friends, chapter 6 about the perception and individual decision making. Perception is the way people organize the massive amount of information they receive into pattern that give it meaning. That's all. Thank you.
Oke, di Komang Amanda, Kartika Putri.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry, I cannot open my camera because my camera has a problem.
Yeah.
The reason I'm joining the class today because I want to learn more about perception and discussion individual making from my friend presentation. As I know, this decision making can be considered as a result or output of mental or cognitive process that lead to the selection of a course of action among several available alternatives. Thank you, sir.
Oke, Adalia Putri.
All right, good morning, good evening, everyone. My name is Adelia, and the reason I joined class today is because I want to learn from Group 7 presentation with the material, perception, and individual decision making. What I know is perception can be defined as the way you think or understand someone or something. Thank you.
Oke, Sharon.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
It's because I want to learn from our friend's presentation about perceptions and individual decision making. Thank you, sir.
Oke, Aji Pangestu.
Okay, good evening, sir and everyone.
Good
So the
evening.
reason I joined class today is because I want to learn more about the topic about perception and individual decision making. And what I know about the perception is a combination of experience, instinct, and opinion. I think that's all, sir. Thank you.
Arya Raditya. Arya, are you in, Arya? Okay. Jennifer. Angela. Carlos. Oh. Sylvia Dwi Arindi.
Yes.
Carlos, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, Carlos. Please.
Yeah. So the good evening, everyone, and sir. So the reason that I joined this lecture today is because I want to watch my friend from group 7 presentate about perception decision making. So what I know about perception is a necessary part of decision process. It also helps decision makers to organize data received. Thank you very much.
Okay, Sylvia Dwi Arindi. Sylvia.
Sylvia told me that her connection is not unstable, and I think that she tries to join this meeting.
Okay. Fanny Deswita.
Hello, good evening, sir. Can you hear me? Okay. Hello. So I'm joining today's class to learn more about perception and decision making. And what I know about perception is the ability to see or become aware of something, and decision making is the action or process of making decision, especially the important ones. Thank you.
Okay, good. Muhammad Araji Basgaswara.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, sir and everyone.
Good evening.
I joined this class because I want to hear my friend presentation about perception and individual decision making. In my opinion, perception is awareness or an understanding of something. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Dewi Winarni.
Okay. Good evening, sir, and good evening, everyone. The reason why I joined this class today is because I want to get knowledge about perception and individual decision making. And when I know about it, perception is important because people's behavior is based on their perception of what reality is and not about reality itself. And decision making is thought process that occur in terms of choosing several alternative possible offered. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Catherine Novani.
Good morning, sir, and good evening, sir, and everyone. My name is Katrina Fani. So I joined this class to learn more about organizational behavior, and today's topic is perception and individual decision making. So perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impression in order to give meaning to environment. So and I hope the presentation today will be run well, and good luck for the presenter. Thank you.
Okay, Nurma Liasari.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening,
evening.
everyone.
Good
My name
evening.
is Nurmalia Sari. The reason why I joined this class today because I want to see the group 7 presentation about perception and individual decision making. What I know about that is a process by which individuals organize and interrupt their sensory impression in order to give meaning to their environment. It is important because people's behavior is based on their perception of what reality is, not on reality itself. The word that is perceive is the word that is behaviorally important. That's all what I know, sir. Thank you.
Okay, good. Elisa Febrianti.
Sir, sorry, but Elisa wasn't absent today because of the.
Yes. Okay, Lia Sandora. Lia Sandora.
Okay, hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. So my name is Ria Sandora, and the reason of attending this class is because I'm interested in learning about perception and individual decision. And I think perception is like the general statement or opinion about something from us that is still uncertain, and it is important in making decision. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Franciscus Caperius. Franciscus.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Enjoying class today. Good evening, sir. Enjoying class today. I want to learn more perceptions. Perception to shapes or text. The term perception is usually used to express the experience of an object or an event that is experienced. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Tata.
Good evening, sir, and everyone. My name is Nepratista. I joined this class today because I want to see my friend presentation about perception and individual decision making. What I know about perception and individual decision making is perception plays a very important role in the choice individual make. People make decision every day, every hour, and every minute based on the perception they interpret. Perception can cause several people to make wrong decision based on the false information. That's all from me, sir. Thank you and good luck for the presenter.
Okay, we Sarip Nabil Akilhut Asegap.
Good morning, good evening, sir, and everyone.
Good evening.
The reason
the connection is bad, yeah. Yes.
Class is because I want to involve using. Hello.
Hello.
Sir.
Yeah, please carry on.
Okay. Through the perceptual process, we gain information about the properties and elements of the environment that are critical to our survival. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Steffi Laurencia.
Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Steffi Laurencia. The reason I joined this Zoom meeting class because I want to learn more about perception and individual decision making that will be presented by my friends. And what I know about perception is the experience of objects, events, or relationships obtained by interpreting information and interpreting message. That's all from me. Good luck for the presenter and thank you.
Okay. Nitar Disapitri.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, please carry on. I hear you first.
Okay, good evening, sir. My name is Nita Disapitri. Currently, I'm in my village, which is in Sampurna. So the reason I attend the class today because I want to see my friend presentations, which is about perceptions and individual decision making. So what I know about that, I think perception will affect the individual to make a decision. So hopefully after for today's lecture, I can have a new insight. So good luck for the presentation. Thank you, sir.
Cekarania.
Yes, sir. Hello. My name is Sikarania, and the reason why I joined this class because I'm going to learn about perception and individual decision making. Perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impression in order to give meaning to their environment. However, what we experience can be substantially different from objective reality. That's all. Thank you.
Agi Mayara, Sevilla.
Good evening, sir, and good evening, everyone. My name is Agimaya Sevilla, and the reason I'm joining the class today because I want to see my friend presentation about perception and individual decision making, and what I know about decision making and perception is the skill more important because every decision made will affect team member and the company. Thank you, sir.
Julia Goyofi.
Good evening, sir, and my friends. So, the reason I joined this class because I want to hear my friend presentation, and I think this topic is very good. Which the perception is the way we think and we look of something, and I believe that what we see is what we get. So, every decision in our life is depend on how we look of something. So like my friend said before, our life, every day in our life we make decision, either than small decision or big decision, but I believe that the decision that we make is have the influence to our future. So good luck for the presenter. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. Okay, this time for group 6, ARSHA to present the topic. Which will be the host? Will be the presenter? ARSHA, yeah?
Yes, sir.
I will make you host. Okay, please take your times to present your topic, ARSHA.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. So today, my group 7, will present material of chapter 6 about perception and individual decision making. And for the member group, there are me, ARSHA WAHYUNI, REVILIA TERESA, and PUTRI HERMANIA.
Okay. So today for our group, we are going to tell you about perception and individual decision making. The first one is, what is perception? So perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impression in order to give meaning to their environment. However, what we perceive can be substantially different from objective reality. Next. Next, Arsha. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to explain. Before attribution theory, we have what we call factors that influence perception. When you look at a target and attempt to interpret what you see, your interpretation is heavily influenced by your personal characteristic. Characteristic of the target also affects what we perceive. And then the next one is attribution theory. Attribution theory tries to explain the way in which we judge people differently depending on the meaning we attribute to a given behavior. It suggests that when we observe an individual's behavior, we attempt to determine whether it was internally or externally caused. The first one is internally caused behavior are those we believe to be under the personal control of the individual. And then externally caused behavior is what we imagine the situation forced the individual to do. The determination, however, depends largely on three factors. The first one is distinctiveness. This refers to whether an individual display different behavior in different situations, and then consensus. If everyone who faces a similar situation responds in the same way, we can say the behavior shows consensus, and then consistency. The more consistent behavior, the more we are inclined to attribute it to internal causes. One of the most interesting findings from attribution theory research is that errors or biases distort attributions. When we make judgment about the behavior of people, we tend to underestimate the influence of external factors and overestimate the influence of internal or personal factors. This fundamental attribution error can explain why a sales manager is prone to attribute the poor performance of her sales agents to laziness rather than to innovative product line introduced by a competitor. The evidence on cultural differences in perception is mixed, but most suggest there are differences across cultures in the attributions people make. The difference in attribution tendencies doesn't mean the basics concepts of attributions and blame completely differ across cultural tone. Next. Next. Next, Arsha.
Already ready.
Slide number 5.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay. And then the next one is common shortcuts in judging others. The first one is selective perception. Because we can observe everything going on about us, we engage in selective perception. Because we cannot assimilate all that we observe, we take in bits and pieces, but we don't choose randomly. Rather, we select according to our interests, background, experience, and attitudes. Selective perceptions allows us to speed read others, but not without the risk of drawing in an inaccurate picture. Seeing what we want to see, we can draw an unwarranted conclusions from an ambiguous situation. The next is halo effect. Halo effect is when we draw a general impression about an individual on the basis of a single characteristic, such as intelligence, sociability, or appearance. A halo effect is operating. The reality of halo effect was confirmed in classic study in which subjects were given a list of traits such as intelligent, skillful, practical, industrious, determined, and warm, and asked to evaluate the person to whom those traits apply. Next slide. Contrast effect. We don't evaluate a person in isolation. Our reaction is influenced by other persons we have recently encountered. In a series of job interviews, for instance, interviewers can make distortions in any given candidate's evaluation as a result of his or her place in the interview schedule. The next one is stereotyping. When we judge someone on the basis of our perception of the group to which he or she belongs, we are using the shortcut called stereotyping. One problem of stereotypes is that they are widespread and often useful generalization, though they might not contain a thread of truth when applied to a particular person or situation. Stereotypes are an example of the warning. The more useful, the more danger of misuse. Next slide. And then we have specific application of shortcuts in organizations. The first one is employment interview. Research shows we form impression of others within a of a second based on our first glance. If these first impressions are negative, they tend to be more heavily weighted in the interview than if that same information came out later. As a result, information allocated early in the interview carries a greater weight than does information allocated later. And a good applicant is probably characterized more by the absence of unfavorable characteristic than by the presence of favorable ones. Then the second one, we have performance expectation. People attempt to validate their perception of reality even when these are faulty. The term self-fulfilling prophecy and Pygmalion effect describe how an individual's behavior is determined by others' expectation. Next. The third one, we have performance evaluation. Although the appraisal can be objective, many jobs are evaluated in subjective terms. Subjective evaluations, though often necessary, are problematic because all the errors we've discussed thus far, selective perception, contrast effects, halo effects, and so on, affects them. Next slide. Next slide, Arsha. And then next, we are going to discuss about the link between perception and individual decision making. Organizations have begun empowering their non-managerial employees with decision-making authority, historically reserved for managers alone. Individuals' decision-making is thus an important part of organizational behavior. But the way individuals make decisions and the quality of their choices are largely influenced by their perceptions. Every decision requires us to interpret and evaluate information. We typically receive data from multiple sources and need to screen and process and interpret them. We also need to develop alternatives and evaluate their strengths and weaknesses. Finally, throughout the entire decision-making process, perceptual distortions often surface that can bias analysis and conclusion. Next. Decision-making in organization. We are going to talk about the rational model, bounded rationality, and intuition. The first one is rational decision-making. The rational decision-making model relies on a number of assumptions, including that the decision maker has complete information, is able to identify the relevant options in an unbiased manner, and chooses the option with the highest utility. As one expert in decision-making put it, most significant decisions are made by judgment rather than by a defined perceptive model. The next one is bounded rationality. Because the human mind cannot formulate and solve complex problems with full rationality, we operate within the confines of bounded rationality. How does bounded rationality work for the typical individual? Once we've identified a problem, we begin to search for criteria and alternatives. And next, we begin reviewing them, focusing on alternatives that differ little from choices currently in the effect until we identify one that is good enough, that meets an acceptable level of performance. So the solution represents a satisfying choices, the first acceptable one we encounter rather than an optimal one. Next. Intuition. Perhaps the least rational way of making decisions is intuitive decisions making, an unconscious process created from a distilled experience. As one recent review notes, intuition is a highly complex and highly developed form of reasoning that is based on years of experience and learning. The key is neither to abandon nor rely solely on intuition, but to supplement it with evidence and good judgment. Next.
So I will continue, and we're going talking about common biases and errors in decision making. So the first one, we have overconfidence bias. So overconfidence bias is individuals whose intellectual and interpersonal abilities are weakest are most likely to overestimate their performance and ability. There's also a negative relationship between entrepreneurs, optimism, and the performance of their new ventures. The more optimistic and the less successful. The tendency to be too confident about their ideas might keep some from planning and how to avoid problems that arise. And the second one is incurring bias. Incurring bias is a tendency to fixate and initial information and fail to adequately adjust for subsequent information. It occurs because our mind appears to give a disproportionate amount of emphasis to the first information it received. The more praises you incur, the smaller the adjustment. Some research suggests people think of making an adjustment after an anchor is set as rounding of a number. Next slide, ARSHA. So the third one, we have confirmation bias. The confirmation bias represents a specific case of selective perception. We seek information that reaffirms our past choice, and we discount information that contradicts them. And we also tend to accept at face value information that confirms our preconceived views, while we are critical and skeptical and of information that challenges them. We even tend to seek sources most likely to tell us what we want to hear, and then we give too much weight to supporting information and too little to contradictory. Next slide. So the fourth is affability bias. The affability bias is our tendency to base judgments on information readily available. Events that evoke emotions are particularly vivid or are more recent tend to be more available in our memory, leading us to overestimate the chance of unlikely events. And fifth, escalation of commitment. Escalation of commitment refers to staying with a decision even when there is clear evidence it's wrong. Individuals escalated commitment to a varying course of action when they feel themselves as responsible for the failure. In fact, people who carefully gather and consider information consistent with the rational decision-making model are more likely to engage in escalation of commitment than those who spend less time thinking about their choice. Many an organization has suffered because a manager determined to prove his or her original decision right continued to commit resources to a less causes. Next slide. And then we have randomness error. Our tendency to believe we can predict the outcome of random events is the randomness error. Decision making suffers when we try to create meaning in random events, particularly when we turn imaginary patterns into superstitions. Superstition behavior can be debilitating when it affects daily judgment or biases major decision. And then seventh, risk aversion. This tendency to favor a sure thing over a risky outcome is risk aversion. Risk aversion has important implications. Sticking with a strategy that has worked in the past does minimize risk, but in the long run, it will lead to stagnation. When a risky investment isn't paying off, most people would rather play it safe and cut their losses. But if they think the outcome is a sure thing, they'll keep escalating. Risk preference is sometimes referred. People prefer to take their chance when trying to prevent a negative outcome. Stressful situation can make this risk preference stronger. Next slide, please. So, and then we have hindsight bias. The hindsight bias is the tendency to believe falsely after the outcome is known that we have accurately predicted it. When we have accurate feedback on the outcome, we seem pretty good at concluding it was obvious. The hindsight bias reduces our ability to learn from the past. It lets us think we're better predictors than we are, can make us falsely confident. And then application, financial decision making. So one of the core problems that created the financial crisis was that large loans were made to individuals who could not repay them, and finance companies purchases these bad debts with realizing how poor the prospect of repayment were. Thus, overconfidence bias by both lenders and borrowers are about the ability to pay back loans was clearly a major factor. Experts were no more accurate at predicting financial outcomes than were people without knowledge or skills in finance. They were more confident in their predictors. Unfortunately, as confidence decreases in the face of poor economic data, businesses and consumers become more conservative in their spending. This further decreases demand for products and services, which depends in economic crisis in vicious cycle. So overconfidence is the only decision error implicated in the financial crisis, but investor and consumer may need to more carefully consider whether their confidence level is aligned with their actual future ability to pay. It is also always a good idea to seek information that goes against your initial inclination to ensure you're getting the whole picture. Next slide. Next slide, please. So we move to influence on decision making, individual differences, and organizational constraint. So we have individual differences. There are 4 factors that impact to individual differences. So the first one is personality. The little research so far conducted on personality and decision making suggests personality does influence our decision. Generally, achievement-oriented people had to fail, so they escalate their commitment, hoping to forestall failure. Deceitful people, however, are more inclined to do what they see as best for the organization. Second, achievement-striving individuals appear more susceptible to the hindsight bias, perhaps because they have a greater need to justify their actions. And finally, people with high self-esteem are strongly motivated to maintain it. So they use the self-serving bias to perceive it. They blame others for their failures while taking credit for successes. And the second one is gender. So from research on rumination offers insight into gender differences in decision making. Rumination in terms of decision making, it means overthinking problems. 20 years of study find women spend much more time than men analyzing the past, present, and future. They're more likely to overanalyze problems before making a decision, to rehash a decision once made. This can lead to more careful consideration of problems and choices. However, it can make problems harder to solve, increase regret over the past decision, and increase depression. So, third is mental ability. Mental ability appears to help people avoid only some of this. Smart people are just as likely to fall prey to incurring overconfidence and escalation of commitment, probably because just being smart doesn't alert you to the possibility you're too confident or emotionally defensive. That doesn't mean intelligence never matters. Once warned about decision-making errors, more intelligent people can learn more quickly to avoid them. They are also better able to avoid logical errors like false syllogism or incorrect interpretation of data. Next slide. The fourth is cultural difference. Cultures differ in their time orientation, the importance of rationality, their belief in the ability of people to solve problems and their preference for collective decision-making. Some cultures emphasize solving problems, while others focus on accepting situations as they are. In short, there are probably important cultural differences in decision-making, but unfortunately not yet much research to identify them.
Second one is organizational constraint. Organizations can constrain decision makers, creating deviations from the rational model. First one is performance evaluation. Managers are strongly influenced by the criteria on which they are evaluated. Next, reward system. The organization's reward system influences decision makers by suggesting which choices have better personal payoffs. If the organization reward risk aversion, managers are more likely to make conservative decisions. Next one, formal regulations. All but the smallest organization create rules and policies to program decisions and get individuals to act in the intended manner. And of course, in so doing, they limit decision choices. Next, system-imposed time constraints. Almost all important decisions come with explicit deadlines. Such conditions often make it difficult, if not impossible, for managers to gather all the information they might like before making a final choice. Next, historical precedents. Decisions aren't made in a vacuum. They have a context. In fact, individual decisions are point in a stream of choice. Choices made today are largely a result of choices made over the years. Ethical consideration should be an important criterion in all organizational decision-making. In this section, we present 3 ways to frame decision ethically. Next, what about ethics in decision-making? First, 3 ethical decision criteria. The first ethical yardstick is utilitarianism, which proposes making decisions solely on the basis of their outcomes, ideally to provide the greatest good for the greatest number. Another ethical criterion is to make decisions consistent with fundamental liberties and privilege, as set forth in documents such as the Bill of Rights. An emphasis on right in decision-making means respecting and protecting the basic rights of individuals, such as the right to privacy, free speech, and due process. A third criterion is to impose and enforce rules fairly and impartially to ensure justice or an equitable distribution of benefits and costs. Second one is improving creativity in decision-making. Although the rational decision-making model will often improve decisions, a rational decision maker also needs creativity, the ability to produce novel and useful ideas. The first one is creative potential. Most people have useful creative potential, but to unleash it, they have to escape the psychological ruts many of us fall into and learn how to think about a problem in divergent ways. Next, 3-component model of creativity. The 3-component model of creativity, which proposes that individual creativity essentially requires expertise, creative thinking skills, and intrinsic task motivation. Expertise is the foundation for all creative work. The potential for creativity is enhanced when individuals have abilities, knowledge, proficiencies, and similar expertise in their field of endeavor. The second component is creative thinking skills. This encompasses personality characteristics associated with creativity, the ability to use analogies, and the talent to see the familiar in a different light. Creative people often love their work to the point of seem obsession. The final component is the 3-component model of creativity is intrinsic task motivation. This is the desire to work on something because it's interesting, involving, exciting, satisfying, or personally challenging. It's what turns creativity potential into actual creative ideas. Next, international differences. There are no global ethical standards. Although ethical standards may seem ambiguous in the West, criteria defining right and wrong are actually much clearer there than in Asia, where few issues are black and white and most are gray. Global organizations must establish ethical principles for decision makers in countries such as India and China, and modify them to reflect cultural norms if they want to uphold high standard and consistent practices. So guys, that's all for our presentation. Now we move to the next section. Does anyone have any questions?
Hello, Arsha. May I ask?
Yes, Steffi, please.
I want to know what is the importance of perceptions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we will collect the question first. Next, anyone else want to ask?
Hello, Arsha.
Yes, please.
My name is Nurfatista.
Yes.
I want to ask, what is the factor that we attempt when observe individual behavior?
Okay. Last question.
Hello, Arsha.
Hello, Ria.
Hello, Arsha.
Yeah, Ria. Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask, in your opinion, what kind of steps to decision-making process? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, question, and we will prepare this first. Please wait.
Hello, Steffi.
Yes, Revi.
So I'm going to answer your question. Your question is, what is the importance of perception? Is it right?
Yes, Revi.
Okay, so perception not only creates our experience of the world around us, it also allows us to act within our environment. So perception is very important. Why? Because in understanding human behavior, and every person perceives the world and approaches life problems differently. That's why perception is very important in the world and understanding human behavior. Can you accept my answer?
Yes, Revi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steffi.
Hello, Tata.
Hello, Arsha.
I will answer your question. Your question is, what is factor that we attempt when observe individuals' behavior? So the answer is internally and externally. Internally, because behaviors are those we believe to be under the personal control of the individual, while externally, because behavior is what we imagine the situation force individual to do. Is that clear, Tata?
Thank you, Arsha.
Thank you.
Hello, Ria.
Hello.
So I would like to answer your question. So the question is, what kind of step to decision-making process, right? So the steps to decision-making process are the first, identify the decision, gather the relevant info, identify the alternatives, weigh the evidence, choose among the alternatives, take action, and review your decision. How about the answer? It's clear?
Clear, Putri. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, now we move to the last section. There are 3 questions for you. Anyone want to answer? You can pick number randomly.
Hello, Arsha.
Yeah.
I would like to answer the first question.
Okay.
So my answer is perceptions is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. However, what we perceive can be substantially different from objective reality. Is it clear?
Yes. Okay, good answer, Afi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone? Number 2
Hello,
and
Arsha. May I try to answer number 2?
Yes, please.
Okay, so there are 3 decision making. First is rational decision making. It is able to identify all of the relevant options in an unbiased manner and choose the option with the highest utility. The second one is bounded rationality, because the human mind cannot formulate and solve complex problems with full rationality. We operate within the confine of bounded rationality. And the last is intuition. It is a highly complex and highly developed form of reasoning that is based on years of experience and learning. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. Great answer, Willa. Thank you.
Thank you, Arsha.
Last questions, anyone?
Hello, Arsha. I'm Tasha. Can I answer number 3?
Yes, please.
Okay. The 3 ethical of decision-making criteria is first, ethical yardstick is utilitarianism, which propose making decisions solely on the basis of their outcomes. And then second, to make decision consistent with fundamental liberty and privilege as set forth in documents such as the Bill of Rights. And then the last third is to impose and enforce rule fairly and impartially to ensure justice or an equitable distribution of benefits and costs. Is true, Arsha?
Yes, Tasha. Good answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
So guys, that's all for our presentation today. And thank you for your attention.
Okay, so as a group, let's talk about perception, yeah, perception. So everyone has their own perceptions, right? So we cannot escape from perception because we have ability to see, yeah, to hear, and etc. So when we do perception, we involve our senses, right? We involve our 5 senses. What are the 5 senses? Can you mention the 5 senses? Can you mention the 5 senses involved in doing the perception? Can you? What are the 5 senses? Eye, yeah. Eye. What are the function of eye? Looking, seeing, see. And then what else? Ear, listening, so that. And then the third is throat. 5 senses. Do you know the 5 senses of human being? Please speak. Don't be silent. Yeah, please be on camera, please. So I think you are not present. So if you are not on camera, I think you are not present. Yeah. So yeah, if you are present, you will be on camera. But when you was did something wrong with your handphone, it's okay. That's it. Yeah. So it is ethical because the lecture also must be on camera. So if I am not on camera, what happen in the class, right? Yeah, I look at only the words, yeah, right? Yeah, it's a Zoom, not audio. So if it is audio, it's okay, so that we can listen the voice, yeah, not the we don't look at the people, the Zooms, right? So when you study in Java, and the lecturer asks you teach you by Zoom, and you don't turn on your camera, the lecturer will be angry, very angry, so that they will be angry with you if you don't turn on your camera, so that if you study in Java, but in Pontianak, the lecturer is not angry, right? Yeah, you don't try to study in Java by Zoom and you don't turn on your camera, so you will be angry, you will be scolded by your lecturer, so that. Okay, so what are the 5 senses had by the human being? What? Eye, and then you don't
Nose.
Nose, and then
Skin.
Yeah.
Hand, skin, hand.
Ear, no. Your 5 senses. Ear, and then nose, hands, ear, mouth. Yeah. What else? Okay. See, so the 5 senses here are used involved in your perception, so that you look at something, yeah, and you smell something, so that you have nose is used to smell, yeah. When you smell something, what is your perception, so that, yeah, what do you perceive of your smell, so that, and then you hear something, and what is your perception, yeah, etc. So perception is very important in individual life or at workplace, right? So now I want to ask the marketing student, yeah, what is the rule of perception in marketing? Because in marketing, perception plays a very important role, right? In marketing, yeah, very important. You can give example how perception plays in marketing activities, yeah, and how perception plays an important role in finance, right? Yeah, and in human resource management department. So this theory is very important. Perception is very important. Because the perception can also influence the individual decision making, right? Yeah, yeah. Because the basic is information, right? This is decision making start from the information, right? You collecting information, and you interpret what the information means to you, right? Okay, who takes marketing here? Take marketing. Don't be shy to say that I'm a marketing student. Don't be afraid to answer this question. The question is very easy. No wrong answer. Right? What is the rule? What is the rule of perception in marketing activities? Give the example. This marketing. The marketing student must be talkative. Don't be silent. So if you are silent, you are not.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question?
What is the role of perception in marketing department or in marketing activities? And give the example, simple example. And how does perception influence your decision making in marketing department, in marketing activities? Example, you are acting as a consumer, and you are acting as a manager, so that. Please, who take marketing? Who takes marketing? No answer for marketing. Oh, you marketing student must be talkative. Don't be silent. Okay.
Not here clearly.
Huh? Not clear? So what is
Yeah.
the rule? What is the rule of what
my
is the rule of?
internet is very bad in here.
Oh yeah, what is the rule of perception in marketing activities? You can give the simple example how perception influence your decision making in marketing department or in marketing activities. For example, you are as a customer, you are a consumer, right? Did you used to go to the Matahari Mall or to Vega Mall? Did you used to do shopping at Mega Mall, especially Matahari?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Did you used to buy clothes?
What, sir?
Did you used to buy clothes at Matahari?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so does perception, do you use perception in buying your
I
clothes?
will buy a beautiful dress if I'm going to Mega Mall.
Yeah.
I'm looking. The first is the what I can see the look
You know, and then
and the what is that what is that?
yeah. How does perception influence your decision buying? Your buying decision in
Looking
okay.
by with eyes.
Yeah.
We can make a perception with our eyes when we look at something.
Yeah. Okay. When you are the seller and the seller look at you, what is the seller's perception to you?
If I'm seller, I will show to my customer, my consumer, the best product of our market.
I mean, so when you look at the customer, looking at the product, yeah, the clothes, yeah, and then asking you the color, the design of the clothes. So how do you perceive her? How do you perceive the customer?
I will tell the best of my product to the customer.
Yeah, it is big question. And so when the customer bargain the price, and how do you perceive them? How do you perceive the
I
customer?
will give a best price
price.
for
you
buy
look at,
one.
so when you are the seller, you look at the customer, ask him many questions. Will you perceive that he just only asking, not buying, so that
yeah, that's
but
right.
when you buy, when you want to buy clothes, I mean that you will look at the design, you will look at the color, so that
yes,
it is perception, so that
yeah.
And then this perception of will influence your decision in buying, so that
Yeah.
And when you go to the market with your friend, and your friend say, "Wow, it's not good, it's bad." I said, I think don't go to buy. So good. So it is also perception, so that so you look at you hear your friend information that is not good, the design is not good. So your friend's information will influence your perception, toward the product, so that so you can also write a thesis entitled the influence of perception on buying on the customer buying decisions, so that okay, it's a
So
sample.
if I'm in marketing, I will write in my thesis of perception, sir.
Yeah, that's right. You can be written. So the influence of perception.
Okay, sir. I got
on the customer decision on buying decision. It can be written. Yeah, you can write it. Yeah, perception and buying decision. So that
yes,
because it's very important. Yeah, the rule of buying is very important. So how will you form good perception of your product from your customers, right? So if your customer has good perception toward your product, I'm very sure that the customer will buy your product, right? It means that you must be able to promote your product. You must be communicable, right? Okay, it is for marketing. Now I want to ask the finance department. Ria, summarize the finance area. Yeah, can you give me the example, the situation involving perception in financial department, in financial activity area?
Okay, so I think maybe regarding stock again.
Yeah, okay, stock, yeah, that's right, the stock, yeah.
Before making decision, of course, we will, before making perception, we will analyze the factors that affecting the stock.
Yeah.
And then after analyzing, we can make a perception about that, whether to invest or not. And then the perception will affect our decision, either to invest or not, and then where to invest, which company.
Yeah, so the person can influence your decision, yeah. But what factors influence your perception? Maybe it can be your background, your individual difference, right? And your educational background. So educational background, individual different personality can also influence your perception, right? And the perception can also influence your decision to invest, to buy stocks, right? You look at the board, so the trend of the stock, the price, yeah, the price trends, right? Is up or down. If the price of stock is down all the time, so it will influence your decision. Yeah, this is called perception. Okay, and then and the human resource management. What is the rule of perception in human resource management activities? Can you give example, please? You can give example the rule of perception in human resource management. There are many examples in human resource management of perception. No, nobody. Nobody give example. So when you are the manager in a company, and then you look at your people wearing good clothes, what is your perception? You are the manager, and you in your office, you look at your people wearing good clothes, neat clothes. What is your perception to your people? This perception, you input your senses, right? You hear, you look at, right? You listen, right? Yeah. And you look at your people wearing good clothes. What is your perception to your people?
He or she is polite, sir.
Is he polite? Okay, okay, good, okay, polite. And then everyone has different opinion, different perceptions, right? According to Ella, is polite. Maybe the other one, the student has different perceptions, right?
Personally, I might thought that he or she is very neat or tidy kind of person.
Yeah, okay, okay. And maybe the manager likes to tidy or neat people, yeah, yeah, the people like looking people, yeah. So the manager asks all the people to wear good clothes, right? Yeah, and then so by wearing good clothes, the situation of work is good, right? It will motivate the people to work well, right? It's the perception from the manager side, right? And from the people side, yeah, they are good, they are neat, they are tidy, right? Yeah, so why they wear good clothes? Yeah, you can look at from the manager side. Maybe the manager has the rule that everyone in the office must wear good clothes, right? Now, this is the simple examples, right? The simple example. Many things. So in the general, in our life, for example. Okay, so yeah, I think every one of you know Jalan Ahmad Yani, ya. Right? Jalan Ahmad Yani near the red lights traffic, yeah. I think you know, yeah. And then near BCA, yeah, there is a zebra cross, yeah. There's a zebra cross. So on the street, three people, one man, one woman, and one child. And the child wears uniform, school uniform, so that. And one man wears tie, and Yeah, wear ties and good clothes. And the woman also wear good clothes. And who are they, in your opinion? So they stand closely. They stand closely, and they want to cross the roads to the school. They want to cross the roads. Yeah. So the small child is wearing uniform, school uniform, and the man is wearing tie, yeah, and carrying a bag, that, and the woman is also wearing a good clothes and carrying a small wallets. How do you perceive them? Who are they? Who are they? Who is the woman? Who is the man? And who is the child? The small child. Also in a situation like that, is the man the father of the child? Is the woman the mother of the child? Is the woman the wife of the man? Or is the man the husband of the wife? Or they are not interrelated? What do you think? Anyone want to give opinion, please?
I'm sorry, sir. Can you repeat?
Wow. There are three people on the street. So they want to cross the road, right? On Ahmad Yani Street, yeah, on Ahmad Yani. Yeah, on Ahmad Yani, yeah, near the red traffic, yeah. Near the red traffic. And then you see a man, you see a woman, and you see a child with school uniform. And they stand closely. Right? They stand closely. Yeah, because they want to cross the road. Yeah, because there's a zebra, yeah, zebra cross there. And then what do you think of them? Who are they? Do you think the man is the father of the child, or do you think the woman is the mother of the child, or the woman is the wife of the man, or the man is the husband of the wife? And what do you think? How do you perceive them? Anyone to answer? All of the answers are right, no answers, right? Because it's opinions, right? It's not just opinion. How do you perceive? Yeah, you
I
need.
think, sir. I think it's many possibility.
Okay.
But the first, I will think the man is the father and the woman is the mother.
And the child?
And the child is the child of the mother and father.
Okay. Why? Why do you perceive like that? Why do you perceive them like that? Why?
Because it's invisible. The little girl or little boy and boy or girl is in the cross zebra in the traffic.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, there will with the parents.
Okay. So you perceive the man is parent and the woman is the father and the child is son, yeah, son, yeah. Okay. All that. Okay. The other opinion, please. The opinion. Good answer. It can be right. So all the answers is right. But I want your arguments for this situation. And what about the others, please?
Can I try, sir?
Okay, please.
Okay. I think is there a boy and a woman is I think is employee, and then the child is small
man, not the boy. A man and woman. Man and woman. Not the boy.
Okay, man and woman. Okay, I think it's man and woman is employees because sir say that before the man is used a tie and what?
A woman, yeah, that's right.
And then the woman is used a small bracelet and then
carrying small wallet.
Small wallet. And then it's my perception.
Yeah.
Is why is a father and mother is use good cloth is for bring to bring the boy to the child to go to school maybe. So I think it's not right.
Right. Okay.
So my perception is maybe the woman and man is employed from their small boss. I think small boss is the child.
Okay. Okay. Good opinion. Yeah. Two different opinion. The other can base. The other possibilities. I ask you, does the woman know the men? You don't know, is that? You can say so. They don't know one another. The man doesn't know the woman. Then the man doesn't know the child, because all of them want to cross the streets, and there's a zebra cross, so they must stand closely, right? And they want to cross the road together, say that. Yeah. So maybe it's so you can give that answer. So and then the man and the child and the woman cross together, but they don't have any they don't have any relationship among them. So the man is not the father. It can be not the father. The man is not the mother, and the child is not the son of the father and the mother. So they don't know. It's because they don't know one another. But unexpectedly, they stand together. They there only to cross the roads. Yeah, because they want to use the zebra cross, and so they must stand together. Say that, crossing the road. Say that. But all your answer is right. No wrong answer. Say that, because it is your perception. Say that. So Cristobal answer is good. You know what unit penalty is good because it is unit perception. Unit must have the reason why when the man is father and the woman is mother and child, is that is according to because the individual different because of the personality, maybe is it the reason why unit perception is different from Cristobal, say that. So but all of is right. Okay, yeah. So in essence, so perception is very important, say that. So when in marketing, when you the seller offers the customer a product, so the customer will give a different perception toward the product, right? Yeah. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
The customer will give different perception. One say it's good, one say it's bad, one say it's not so bad. So this is different perception, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think who will be the next presenter next week? Will be the next presenter next week? No answer. Will be the next presenter next week? Chapter 7, yeah. Who? What's the title? No one knows the presenter. Okay, I think you can give later, yeah. You can give the later. Okay, before we end this course, please, as usual, you must give the closing comment in short. What have you got from this topic? So is this topic important for you? Okay, please, from Julia Goyopi, please.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, sir, for the opportunity to closing comments. So this topic give me many new insight, and as I already said in the opening comment, this topic is very important, and when we study about this topic, we can make a right decision for our life. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Desika Sanjaya.
Okay, hello, sir. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. Firstly, I would like to say sorry because I cannot open the video because my internet connection is very bad right now. So from the lesson today, I got so many lessons from the decision making, and I realized that decision making is very important because if we decide something that is wrong, then it will be very fatal. So we have many things that we should consider before making a decision. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Agi Maya Sevilla. Agimayar Sevilla.
Good evening, sir. And I would like to say, so the lesson I learned from today's presentation is that perception is very important in understand human behavior because every person perceives the world and approaches life problem differently. Thank you, sir.
Irfani Olia.
Okay, thank you, sir, and also my friends who are already presenting today. So today I learned about the perception and also decision making. It's really important to us to know about perception and also decision making in about marketing and also HR and also finance. And it's really important also about perception in daily life. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Ceka Rania. Ceka Rania. Vanessa Yen. Vanessa.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you for today's class. From today's class, I learned a lot about perception, and I realized that perception is very important in every department, especially in the decision making. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Dita Disapitri.
So thank you, sir, for today's lessons. Of course, I can look new insight, information about perceptions and individual decision making, because they are very important in the work environment and daily life. Thank you, sir.
Yuni Penawati.
Yes, sir. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Yuni Penawati. So from today's meeting, I got a many insight about perception and decision making. And from today's meeting, I know the decision making and the perception is very important in the all department. And I think that's all my my closing comment. Thank you.
Okay, Stepi Lorencia.
Hello, today I got new knowledge and many insight about what is perception, the link between perceptions and individual decision making, and the importance of perceptions. Thank you and good night, everyone.
Okay, WAHYUNI.
Thank you for today's class. And from today's material, we know that perception is really important because with perception, we can consider something before making a choice. Thank you, sir.
Sarip Nabil Akil. Sarip Nabil Akil. Cristobal.
Okay. I want to say thank you so much to Arthur. So we today can learn about perception, individual decision making. Thank you.
Okay, Tata.
Sir, Tata tell me her Wi-Fi connection is bad, sir.
Okay, Villa Seola.
So from today's discussion, I get to know that perception is simply defined as how a person sees the world around them, and it helps them on act and respond in certain situations. Thank you.
Okay, good. Franciscus Caperius, Mandau. Revilia Teresa.
Okay, so earlier our group has presented about perception and individual decision making. I hope by our presentation we can give everyone new insight and new information related to perception and decision making. Thank you.
Okay, Ria Sandora.
Okay, so thank you for the presenters today and for sir's question that I learned a lot from today's class, especially about perception and individual decision. And I know that perception is really affects someone's decision, whether it is marketing, finance, or HRM. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Tiffany.
Okay, on today's class, what I got is perception. Someone's perception is sometimes different from the other's perception. And I'm looking forward to the next week class, and as we are going to learn a new material again. Thank you.
Okay, Nurmalia Sari.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry that I can't open the camera because my internet is not unstable. So thank you for the presenter. They present about the material today, and I think that it's a really good. And thank you, sir.
Okay, HERMANIA. HERMANIA.
Okay, thank you for today's class, and today I got to learn about perception. So perception is important and how to deal with others, and important to make a decision. Thank you.
Okay, Catherine Giovanni.
Okay, so thank you for today's presenters. I got much insight into perception and individual decision making, which is important because perception affects our decision making process. Because in order to make an accurate decision, we need to think properly it will work or not. There are a lot of things that should be considered in making decision. Thank you.
Okay, good. Delphina Sukma.
Okay, so today I got a new insight about perception and individual decision making. And self-perception is an important factor in order to obtain result or that will affect someone in considering the study objective. Thank you, sir.
Dewi Winarni.
Okay, first I want to say thank you for you, sir, and thank you for the present today. Today, I'm learned about how important perception and make the right decision. Thank you, sir.
Andian Jiwando.
Okay, today I got some insight and some knowledge more about perception and decision making. I hope that is useful and helpful for my future. Thank you, sir.
Muhammad Arazi Bagaswara.
Sir, tonight I learned about perception and individual decision making. I learned because people behavior is decided on the perception of what the reality is.
Okay. Your connection is slow, yeah. Okay, WAHYUNI.
Okay, thank you for presenter and Saradi. Today I got know about what is perception and its relevance to individual decision making. I hope the next presenter will run it well. Thank you.
Okay, Fanny Deswita Anggraini.
Hello, good evening. So today I get new insight about making decision and perspective, and that's it. Thank you.
Okay, Sabrina Felia.
So thank you for group 6 that have presented the material today about perception and the decision making. And I know that perceptions affect our decision making and is a necessary part of the decision process. Thank you.
Okay, good. Sylvia Dwi Arindi. Captain Nathanael.
Okay, today I can know how important perception in each department and how perception often helps shape a person's decision making and how they act in certain situations. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Carlos.
Hello.
Hello, please.
So today, from today's lecture, I learned a lot about perception and decision making, and I hope it will be useful on my future. Thank you very much.
Okay, Octavia. Okay.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
And good evening, everyone. So today I learned more. Thank you for the presenter. I learned so many things, especially about perception and decision making. So thank you for the presenter.
Okay, Jennifer.
Yes, sir.
Please, Jennifer, yeah.
So thank you, sir. Thank you, my friends. So today, I already joined this meeting, and thank you for this presentation. Thank you.
Tasha Rabiatul Alfia.
Yes, sir. I want to say thank you for ARSHA and REVILIA presentation. Now I get knowledge about perception and decision making, and this material useful with ourselves. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Arya Raditya. Salsabila Deva.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir, and my friend as a presenter that have reason about the perception and individual decision making. To the lesson, I got new insight about the perception is important in the study of organizational behavior because people behavior is based on their perception of what reality is and not about the reality itself. The individual predict the same thing differently. Thank you.
Okay, Aji Pangestu.
Okay, first of all, thank you for this. So in the class, I learned about how we can up decision making and perception for workplace and daily life. Thank you, sir.
Nikoma Amanda.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, and thank you, everyone. Thank you for my first presentation. From today material, I got more about perception and making the discussion for myself. Thank you.
Sharon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, and my friends for presenting today. Today, I got new insight about the perception and individual decision making, which that is very important for making a choice. Thank you.
Adelia Putadiko.
All right, so from today's class, I learned many things about perception, which is important, especially for the manager in order to deal with decision making for organization. And thank you for the presenter answer and stay healthy all. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, I think it's time for me to say good night. See you later next week. Yeah, keep your health. Okay, be successful in your life.
Sir.
Good night.
Sir.
Yeah, please.
I cannot close comment cost.
Okay, please, Francis, close. Okay, yeah, please. Your closing comment. What is your closing comment?
So I more times perception for important in future. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, of course, important for your future perception. You must have good perception. Okay, I think it's time for me to say good night. See you later next week. Yeah, be successful in your life and be happy. See you next week.
See you, sir. Thank
Good
you.
night. You're welcome.
Thank
you,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I must.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.